It's Tuesday, November 19th, 2019. I would much rather be discussing and or live tweeting about the impeachment proceedings. I'd much rather be discussing how Lieutenant Colonel Vindman is a national treasure. I'd much rather be talking about why his testimony and his ability to stand up to the Republican Party in the manner that he has. I'd much rather be talking about how he is speaking actual truth to power in the age of Donald Trump, when I'd much rather be talking about that. But instead, I find myself feeling compelled emotionally to speak about Colin Kaepernick and this entire shit show. And yes, I'm going to refer to it as a shit show because that's exactly what it is. The NFL, I'm going to start, because I want to be fair, I'm going to start by criticizing the NFL in this. The NFL basically threw a workout at Colin Kaepernick. Yes, Jay-Z did have a hand in it. Yes, what the NFL did was unprecedented in that they gave Kaepernick, the appearance of preferential treatment in scheduling a league-wide workout. The league did themselves no favors. Okay? They did themselves no favors by throwing this together and basically just tossing him a workout clearly out of distrust. See, in a way, I get it. Okay? Jay-Z was involved. There was a lot of other people who were involved behind the scenes. I get that there was a bit of take it or leave it approach that was taken here. I get that. But if you want to know why people are as upset about Colin Kaepernick's antics, if you want to know why people are finally starting to see that this whole situation on Kaepernick's part is so fraudulent, let me at least give you my perspective. Kaepernick was trash his last 2 years of employment in the NFL. He was garbage. The facts are there. I'm not even going to say you can Google them. I'm saying look through my Twitter timeline. I've posted the exact moment in December 4th, 2016 when he was benched. Kaepernick was trash. The Niners, yes, context-wise, the Niners were in disarray. It's well known. Once Harbaugh was launched from the 49ers, that whole organization fell apart. And that's a whole other discussion that we can have in terms of Kaepernick's skill set not being used properly. Because Greg Roman is with the Ravens right now and has turned Lamar Jackson into a star. We can talk about that particular bit of context at another time. But that does not excuse the fact that Kaepernick still had the responsibility to execute and get his team wins. It didn't happen, and he was benched in favor of Blaine Gabbert. These are undeniable, inconvenient facts. It's out there in the public record. There are plenty of videos floating around showing that Kaepernick was trash. So let's start there. Everybody wants to get hung up on the nobility. I said this on Twitter several times. Folk want to get hung up on the nobility of this man's cause. Folk are making all sorts of excuses for this man and they're saying, well, we need to focus entirely on his mission, entirely on his focus. Everybody wants to say, well, he should have a shot in the NFL. Okay, he should have a shot in the NFL. I don't dispute that. I don't dispute that. I think a team, personally, I'd love to see him back on a football field. And I'll happily eat shit if he turns out to be good. Okay? I'd love to see that again. So I just want to make sure that's on record too. But Kaepernick is not the icon that people try to make him out to be. You don't get icon status when you tell people not to vote, and that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are the same. Okay? You lose your status as an icon when you, as a black man, tell people not to participate in the democratic process. I'm sorry, I will not debate this. Those of you who have followed me on Twitter know that I've been banging the fucking drum about the Voting Rights Act since 2013 when it was first gutted by the Supreme Court. And you know how I feel about that. So to sit here and act like Kaepernick deserves this adulation and this respect for taking a knee and doing nothing else, well, except the Know Your Rights Project and all this other stuff. See, and that's the other part. People ask me why I get upset about the symbolism and why I say black folk these days are so obsessed with symbolism and representation and superheroes and villains and everything else. Okay? We're obsessed with this stuff, but yet we don't see context. We don't. Y'all want y'all want to we see Kaepernick take a knee. We see him, we see him do all of this symbolic stuff. But when it comes to actually creating stuff that could, I don't know, eliminate some of the problems that we face as black people, we don't want to get into the process. We just want empty symbolism. We'll be just fine with people, with celebrities on the red carpet, being human billboards for Nike because, to honor, in honor of Colin Kaepernick. Like, I don't understand that. But it's just dishonest to pretend like this guy isn't, that there isn't some self-serving, that there isn't something selfish or disturbing about what is taking place. And also, this notion that he's somehow beyond reproach, that we shouldn't criticize him and just hold him completely blameless and beyond reproach because of the nobility of his cause. I'm coming back to that. So we're not going to call out the fact that he fucked off an interview 45 minutes before the interview was supposed to happen? That he didn't, go 60 miles to a high school football field to basically have a workout, to basically play catch with his boys? Are we just gonna pretend like that wasn't, like, Cap should have taken, if nothing else, Cap should have, Cap should not have done the high school part. He should not have fucked off to that high school field and played catch. If he were smart, he would have waited. Negotiate a professional workout on a day that works. And yeah, I'm talking about, I'm not holding the NFL blameless in this either. Both of these parties should have come together. But because neither one trusts the other, and both of these sides want to win, we have the debacle that transpired on Saturday. I'm sorry, there's no excuse for the league putting together a workout or throwing together a workout less than 24 hours before your early games begin on Sunday. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. Something could have been worked out, and I'm holding both parties responsible for this. But to sit up and pretend like Kaepernick should not be called out for his antics, that he should not be called out for his dishonesty in all of this, and to act as if, excuse me, to act as if he's somehow this perfect victim of circumstance is just flat out ridiculous. I reject it, and I question the honesty of anybody who dares to use it. So here's where I'm coming from. I hope they can work something out. I want to see Kaepernick play. I'd like to, but quite honestly, that brings us to another problem. And that problem is, what do you do if he does get signed? If he does get signed, then what? The league's got to constantly look over their shoulder to make sure that he, his people, his friends and enablers in the media who, continue to hold up this image of perfection for this guy, the team's got to constantly look over their shoulder and make sure that they're appeased, knowing that the second, and I mean the millisecond, that this dude is benched, they're going, the woke media mafia, they're going to come after that team with fresh accusations of racism. They're going to hit him. They're going to hit the team and the NFL with more collusion. Oh, well, you didn't give him enough of a shot. He'll, let's say he does stink up the football field and a team gives him 3-4 weeks or half a season or whatever. The point is, it's not going to be enough for these people. I've been on Twitter for 10 years, and anybody with half a brain who's watched how woke people operate, they know it does not take a genius. It is not rocket science to understand and know that woke people have no loyalty. The only thing they have is, the only loyalty they have is to their pet causes and to their ever-changing definitions of perfection. And if anybody falls out of that, of their guidelines, however fluid they might be, they get canceled, they get called out, they get everything else. And that's why wokes are getting laughed out of the gym at every turn these days. Because folk don't want that headache. So, Cap gets a shot. How long? How long will it be? I mean, first off, the media focus will be, well, why did it take so long? Why did it take so long for him to get a shot? Then once he's on the field, and if he struggles during training camp or whatever, then it's, well, he's got all these struggles, but he could still be this quarterback. And then he stinks up the regular season. And yeah, I'm focusing on, and people are like, well, why are you counting on him to lose? I'm not. I'm not counting on him to lose. I'm not counting on the man to fail. I just know that if he wins, if he turns out to be a winning quarterback, then this discussion won't take place. Winning covers up sins. Winning covers up a lot of, it eliminates the need for many a discussion to take place. The focus will be on Kaepernick a lot heavier if after 3 years of demanding a shot, getting a shot, and then laying goose and then taking a shit every day on the football, every week on the football field during the regular season, that's when the scrutiny will be on the team. That's when the media circus will be in full swing. It's not. I'm not hoping for it. It's reality. It's reality, folks. I know that people these days don't like having discussions about what's actually clearly in front of your face and instead want to engage in these high-minded discussions about the way things should be. I get that. And I know that sounds really, really good, but we have to work within reality, people. I'm sorry. If Cap goes 16-0, 12-4, if he opens up the regular season with a bang, we're not going to be talking about this. We're just not. It's disingenuous to assume that's going to be the case. But let that dude take a shit on the football field or take the piss every week, every Sunday, knowing damn well he's going to have enablers in the media and everywhere else demanding that they keep him on the football field as their icon. And that's why I keep saying that other people in the media, Teray, Mike Freeman, all these other ones, just to name a few, who's Dave Zirin and all these other, woke media people who want to see Kaepernick succeed more than even he does. Trust and believe. The minute he gets benched again, the minute he takes the piss on the football field, they're going to be demanding that whatever team picks him up keeps him as a starter. Or keeps him on the 53-man roster if he makes the 53. They're going to demand that he make the 53-man roster. It's going to be playing general manager. It's basically whatever team picks up Kaepernick right now, with the way things are in this media climate, they're going to basically they're going to have to take Twitter polls for Colin Kaepernick to make sure that boy stays on the football field or not. And whenever he gets taken off the field, if he does, that's when the cycle will begin all over again. Anyways, that's my time for now. That's my rant for the day. Hope y'all have a great one.